Good afternoon and happy new year to everyone. I hope you had a wonderful holiday and I hope your 2021 is starting with a bang. Today we have a very unique show. A friend that I met along the way, he follows our page, is very supportive. And to my surprise, he is the founder and president of Western Pennsylvania Council of HBCU Alumni. I would like to welcome today. And when he comes in, he's going to give you a brief history of his background. He's also going to share his success story. And he will also tell us what exactly the Western Pennsylvania Council of HBCU Alumni does. He is a graduate of Alabama State University, but I'll let him fill you in with all of his story as he comes on. So we would like to welcome Vince Elliott. I think he was flashing his flag before he got on camera. I'm not sure, but as much as you know that we HBCU alumni, we love our schools. We will be alumni down in gear just because we have graduated from one of those like distinguished universities that we love. So I would like to welcome to Let's Talk About It this week, Mr. Vince Elliott of Western Pennsylvania Council of HBCU Alumni.
Good evening, Ms. Robinson. How are you?
I am fine. I'm so glad you got to join us this week. I know that you post a lot of important information and a lot of things that you're doing that is successful. And I just want you to share everything from your experience, from your days at ASU. Like I'm all in. We have a whole
I
hour.
can share everything about my days at ASU because this is a PG-13 show. I can share most of them. Well, I can share a little bit of it, but
Okay.
as far as the Western Pennsylvania Council of HBCU Alumni was started, the initiative was started in 2012 when I
Okay.
moved back to Pittsburgh from Alabama, and we were at a function where our local high school basketball team just won the championship, girls and boys. And as I was talking to these group of students, I asked, and I don't even know why I asked this question, how many of y'all are planning on attending an HBCU? 67 kids looked at me and asked me, what is an HBCU? And these are kids, black kids, kids of color, kids that should know about our nation's HBCUs. Mind you, this was in 2012. So I went to this local high school and I asked them how come these kids are not being told about HBCUs. The counselor told me, well, nobody didn't express an interest in HBCUs. So I asked the counselor, quite frankly, please just explain the words guidance and guidance counselor of your job. She politely asked me to leave. And, living down south for so long, if you see a good fight, you just jump in it. So we've been recruiting kids to our nation's HBCUs ever since. 2016, we became an official organization, and we promised college enrollment for every student, regardless of their GPA, SAT score. If you desire an education, we will definitely help you obtain one. We would definitely recommend a school that would meet three criteria. The HBCU must meet the students' educational and career goals, must meet the students' social and cultural needs, and it must meet the students' family financial needs. We don't want to send a student to a school that they cannot afford to stay.
Mhm.
Now, there's 101, 102. Let's just say slightly over 100 HBCUs. All right.
Okay.
Depending on accreditation, will tell us if we got 101 or 102. But I promise you, there is a perfect school out there for everyone. Now, Alabama State might not be right for everybody, but it was perfect for me. So that's why we make sure we try to send the student to the right school. And
Got it.
in the past 4 years, we had sent over 589 students to our nation's HBCUs. And we're going to continue promoting these schools.
Mhm. So what gave you the push to start? Like, I know for myself, I got fed up. I'm just gonna be honest, and I got fed up with the way and method that guidance counselors was directing our scholars of color. Is that what was that the push that you had to make you
You
do?
gotta understand, they wasn't even pushing HBCU at all
Got it.
in Western Pennsylvania. In fact, even to this day, I get more pushback from educators that look like me than from white educators.
Wow.
Most of them even gave so much pushback to try to keep me out of a school. Because not that I was slinging drugs or alcohol, because I'm pushing HBCUs. Now, these are black counselors saying that they don't want me in the school because I'm pushing historically black colleges and universities. And one of the things that they do here in Pittsburgh, they have the right people of color that they could cover themselves with, so they could say what they would like to say for them.
Wow.
But still, your school is not and these are the students that seek me out outside of the school. I mean,
Wow.
places, Duquesne, CMU, University of Pittsburgh, Carlos, those are good schools. But that don't mean they're good for us.
Right.
1 year at a HBCU will undo the damage of the public schools, 13 years of the public school system. And we have students like I mention her all the time. 2016, we recruited a young lady to go to Alabama State named Casey. Casey graduated from a high school with a 1.8 GPA.
Wow.
820 SAT score.
Wow.
She's going to graduate this year with a 3.9 GPA in biology. She could not have done that at a predominantly white institution because they would not have nurtured her like that. But these schools was designed to help people coming out of chattel slavery. So
and, yeah, I can truly see that, and that's why even talking before we even got on here, I was like, that's something that we need to stress. And one thing that you said is, 1 year at an HBCU, and I've seen that in multiple places, and I've experienced it myself as a scholar at Wilberforce University, a proud graduate of Wilberforce University, is that 1 year retransform my whole mind and thoughts about education that I have gotten 13 years prior. Now, I don't know if you experienced that at ASU your first year. It was like I was able to have a fresh start no matter what I done before I got there, because my story is similar to, the student that you just introduced, a 1.8. I beat her by 1 point. I had a 1.9. But it does retransfer because it makes you think of yourself different in a different space. So did you experience that at ASU?
At ASU was the first opportunity that to be educated on my perspective.
Got it.
Okay. It wasn't a system of me just regurgitating information that was fed to me. It was a system where we dissected, understood it, and gave our opinion on it or our interpretation on it.
Right.
So it didn't just make us gather of information. My HBCU actually made me a thinker. Now understand, coming from Pittsburgh, PA, born in Montgomery, Alabama. Okay.
Oh,
now,
wow. That's a big jump.
I tell folks every time, although I was born in Pittsburgh, I was definitely reborn in Montgomery, Alabama. Going to the school that was located in the cradle of the modern day civil rights movement.
Yes.
I swear, everybody on that campus thought they was either Malcolm, Martin, Coretta, um, Angela Davis, Elder Cleaver, Huey P. Newton.
Wow.
And if you was cutting up or if you were slipping, they definitely clowned you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, I mean, it wasn't a out of PWI is probably a, let's just me say this. In an HBCU, it's an inclusive environment.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you're black out of Duquesne or a PWI, you're at an exclusive environment.
That's true. That's very true.
And also,
Now, one thing
we at our school for a black student union. At
yeah,
our schools, every building, every day is designated to us. Out of PWI, you got that 1 month in that one building and that one event that is designated to you.
so what is your take? I know we talked about it briefly before you came on. What is your take on sports? Because lately there's been a huge transition in HBCU game day, HBCU sports, because of what is going on at Jackson State. All of a sudden we've become relevant in sports, and I'm like, we've had black athletes for years.
Okay, first of all, HBCU in professional sports had always been relevant, will
Exactly.
always be relevant, and will continue to be relevant. Just because the mainstream media don't cover, your stats go with you no matter where you're at.
Exactly.
They got NFL player from Lawrence University, the HBCU that closed down, St.
Mm-hmm.
Paul University in Lawrence, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's a HBCU that just recently closed, but yet the NFL recruit from them.
That's true.
Most of the Hall of Famers come from Jackson and Grambling.
That's true.
And my Steelers got more Hall of Famers from HBCUs than any NFL team.
That's true. I'm a Steelers fan as well.
I don't like what them Browns did, but that's okay. That's we can talk about. That's a subject of a different time. But always be relevant. Now somehow these PWIs did a Jedi mind trick in our community to say, well, the only way you can go to the NFL if you come to Penn State or Ohio State or University of Alabama.
Mm-hmm. So what's your take on that, though? I mean, I hear what you're saying. I mean, do you have the same thoughts that I have?
I mean, my thoughts is this: they harvest the best of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling our students, just come on back home, stay home. They didn't want yeah.
It will be Anthony.
But tell our students to stay home.
Mm-hmm.
They want to make sure if you're good enough to get into the league, you're going to go. But at an HBCU, you're going to get a diploma. You will graduate.
Mm-hmm. You won't just be stuck with that. And then even that, just looking, it's like, it's not really a nurturing environment. They just want you for your talent. And at the end of the day, you don't get a chance to be an individual or counted. That's
how University of Mississippi majoring in TV. They will make up a class just for you to go there to play football. But out of HBCU, they want to bring out something you better than this.
Exactly.
What about life after the league?
Exactly.
I always want to be thinking. I mean, as far as Coach Prime, my thing is, it's about time. What took y'all so long?
Exactly. Now, I have noticed, and I don't know if you've been following the story with that, there has been an uptick in people who have interest in not just Jackson State, but other HBCUs as well because of that. And then another question I have for you, I know I'm asking you, like coming at you with a whole bunch of questions. But another one that I have noticed is since the election and since the White House has changed and we will have an HBCU graduate as a vice president. I'm not knocking it. I'm really grateful for all the things there. But have you noticed the uptick in things and attention that HBCUs are getting now?
I mean, definitely, but you also got to understand 40% of Congress are HBCU alum.
Exactly. And no one has ever mentioned that.
Right. We've been in these places for years, for decades. This ain't just happened. Now, as far as the executive office, okay, yes.
Right.
Kamala Harris, Howard alum, Alpha Kappa Alpha for the next 4 years. I expect to hear nothing but from my Howard colleagues and my AKs. I expect, I already prepared myself.
Yes, now we already know that's exactly how that's gonna go.
Absolutely.
But I mean, and I'm not taking anything away from it, but I have had parents, hey, do you still
it's not that. Listen, compared to we believe in measurables. How do we measure?
Correct.
The bar is set mighty low for them as of right now.
Explain.
Now.
Why you say that? I'm just asking. I want to hear your explanation on that.
They are replacing Donald Trump and Mike Pence.
Got it.
There's a situation where if they do absolutely nothing, it will be an improvement than what is leaving out of there.
Got it. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That is totally fair. So, tell me about, and I'm really, really intrigued about all of the things that Western Pennsylvania, I might be saying it wrong or backwards, so fix me if I am, the Western Pennsylvania HBCU Alumni Council. What do you do in the community?
Well, we go to the high schools, and we create. We provide HBCU resources for every student. Now, like I told you before, every student is not going. Alabama State, Bethune-Cookman, Valley is not going to be right for every student.
That's true.
We also, like I said, educational and career goals. We find out what do they want to do, what are their interests in, okay? And then, provide him with those schools. And then their cultural and social needs. We talk to their parents, we talk to their teachers. Now, let's keep it 100. If they're easily distracted, they have a hard time staying focused. Do we really want to send them to Clark, Atlanta?
Oh, no. I wouldn't have even made it in my time there.
I mean, some kids we just got to send to the country where there is no distractions. We got to send them to a Wilberforce, a university where there's 17 miles of cornfield. Everything you need, young man, is right here on this campus.
That's not necessarily true. It's tough to get into at Wilberforce. It's Central State across the street. So it's a distraction. Trust me. Ask me how I know, but not live.
Right. But what we're trying to do is put them in the right, because we believe somebody's environment is just as important as the school itself. Okay?
That's true.
All right. And then their family financial needs. You let them know that while you have all of these PWIs coming at you at 20, 30, 40, 50,000 a year, we have schools that if you go there with the out-of-state fee waiver, you can pay south of $16,000 a year, including room and board.
Wow.
Alabama State have a out-of-state fee waiver. Jackson State have a out of state fee. I'm sorry, Jackson State out of state fees is only $500 a semester.
Oh wow.
Alcorn got an out of state fee waiver. Mississippi Valley have no out of state fees. Grambling have an out of state fee waiver.
Oh wow.
And these are all schools that you pay south of $20,000 a year, including room and board, depending on what type of dorm you want to stay in.
Mm.
Because as far as I understand, a RN graduating from Grambling at $15,000 a year, including room and board, is going to get paid the exact same.
You better say that.
Out of Carlos, paying $47,000 a year.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that I think the transparency. That's why I'm so grateful that you gave me your time to come on here today, Mr. Elliott, because what you just said is something that people don't really pay attention to. That's you might have to repeat it again because they probably didn't
pay attention to it. Pay attention to it. It's just that they just simply don't want to own up to it, because paying more for something don't necessarily mean better.
It's the name.
Right. Or the name don't necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
The name I just named, you probably never even heard of before, right?
The PWI you named, I've heard of, but the average person probably hasn't.
No. But the majority of the people heard of Tuskegee, Grambling,
mm-hmm.
Morgan. They definitely heard of that. I mean,
mm-hmm.
It's in world history books.
Exactly.
But even with that type of reputation, they're not, price gouging you for this education. Because an education should be obtainable for everyone.
Exactly.
Regardless of your economic standing or your social stance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in this day and age, the majority of the kids I work with are still first generation college students.
Same here. And even the first generation, because of the downplay and I guess we would say lack of knowledge about HBCUs, their parents don't push them to go.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know in your environment, but like I said, in my environment, I have more pushback from people who look like me than the dominant culture here in Western Pennsylvania.
Wow. And I know your population is greater there than mine, but I have a similar experience, except for it's the schools, the teachers there, they act like they don't know. And I mean, you can tell by just my office here, my other office of just as I have nothing but HBCU pennants and a constant talk about it. So why is there not an offer to students or to people to go? And I've been it's been puzzling my mind forever because I'm like, I'm not saying that PWIs are bad, but if you have a child, like you mentioned, they need that nurturing. They need that environment. They need to feel. That's somewhere I would recommend highly that they start out to go.
Need that inclusive environment.
Mm-hmm.
And at a HBCU, help is always provided
mm-hmm.
for everyone. And a lot of times you don't even have to ask for it.
It just show up.
Look here, bro. You've been flipping. Here's a study guide. This might help. And if you're meeting at the student union at 7, you might want to come with us.
Exactly. And it is not even a question about it.
No.
I don't know if you experienced the hardship while you were on campus, and if you're vulnerable enough to share it, fine. If not, I'm too personal, I'll just back off. But I know that every student has a story that they deal with something that's tragic or something that's hard while they're on campus. And I know for me, my choir family, they will come if I just lift up the phone. Do you have those type of relationships that stand out?
I mean, you got to think, I'm a little older. I've been out of school for years, okay? But I still have friends that I could call right now.
Mm-hmm.
I still talk to this day. I mean, their kids is friends with my kids. Now I don't know too many people that look like me that go to a PWI that can say the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, this connection, your HBCU connection, is going to be a lifelong connection, and those connections is going to be there because you're going to see them going homecoming. You're going to see them during the classic. The next thing you know it, you the old dude at the club.
Wow, that is not a good thing to be.
No, it's not.
Definitely not a good thing, or a person to be known as. Let me say it that way. But yeah, it never gets old, and I know I've mentioned it before. Like, I am grateful for my college friends because they helped me grow up. They helped me get to a place where, because my mouth used to get me in trouble. You probably can't tell, but it did. It did, and I had the temper to go along with it. But I'm grateful, and those are the lessons that I've learned from my Wilberforce family. Now, granted, I do have advanced degrees from other places, but home is home. Now, I know. Do you experience that same
Oh,
that?
absolutely. I mean, we got about 12 people at Alabama State right now, and I get mad because they got AC in their dorms. You got to understand, when I went there, I was living in a dorm that didn't have no AC. We had a box fan in the window, and we talking about Alabama.
It get hot there.
I'm talking about Alabama. When you take a shower and you come out, you just as musty as you went in because it's so hot and there ain't no air.
No.
I'm like, man, y'all lucky y'all are at this school now.
Oh wow, that is. I'm so sorry you had to experience.
But listen, we stayed in this dorm called the Crump. It was Abercrombie. The first time they made it into a male's dorm, and I couldn't understand why. Because if it didn't have no AC with males in there, I can only imagine what it was like when it was a female's dorm.
Oh my God, no.
So,
That. Oh my God, I will pass out. It gets hot down there.
oh yeah, it definitely get hot. So I could even remember going there telling my academic advisor, be like, listen, because I was the, everybody had that role in school. I was always the party promoter, okay? I was that dude. So I was getting in late. And I told him, like, listen, I need no classes before 10. I need to eat lunch because I probably won't make breakfast, and I need to be done by 3. I remember he gave me a 9 o'clock in the morning class. So, however I woke up is exactly how I went to class. So that meant I grabbed my box of cereal, went to the cafeteria because they got the cereal dispenser at the school, right? I mean, in the cafeteria. But I needed to fill my box up after I ate cereal. So I take my box to the dispenser, fill my box back up.
You were stealing from the can.
Huh?
You were stealing from the can.
Yeah, I paid for that cereal, man. That's what my room and board paid for. But yeah, I used to go fill my box up, and then I would go to class with pajamas and bathrobe and books.
Man.
Now, this is very taboo because everybody at Alabama State used to get dressed up real nice. It was like a fashion show.
Oh yeah, you got to dress.
That just did not participate in that fashion show.
Not
I got dressed up at night. But yes, I did fill up my cereal box. And if anybody watching, you are not permitted to do this. So,
well, no, you only had one comment, and that's from Mr. Anthony, my my mentor, my brother, he said, "Don't nobody want to hear about school was like in the Stone Ages." Anthony, he on one today. I should tell him to send him the link and tell him to come on here, but he don't know how to act right sometimes. But I love him.
Definitely, hey, he's right though. But it's not like that now. Now here they got these kids got like they got hibachis.
What on the campus?
Yes, okay. I went to we visit Central, and they had this hot plate where you could grab your vegetables and a stir fried section.
You talking about Central State in Ohio or just somewhere else?
Ohio.
They didn't have that when I used to sneak in their cafeteria.
Cafeterias, they got it going on now. And at Grambling, they got crab legs.
What?
Those, man, look.
I'm in the wrong profession. I need to either go to
we just went to school in the wrong era. That's all that is.
We had none of the stuff you talking about. I'm like, what?
And all of them is in suite style apartments. But back when I went, you had a bathroom on each side of the hallway.
The community bathroom?
Right.
Oh.
But now they got, what, 2-bedroom suites?
Oh, yeah, they upgraded.
Hey, they definitely had upgraded now.
A lot of schools have upgraded. I went in one dorm because I have kids. Like I have one, give him a shout out, tomorrow, who is going to Rust College. His first day. I'm so excited for Mr. Cross, James Cross. He will be officially a college student tomorrow. So,
and that school is making it so easy.
Yeah,
so easy. If you want an education, a 3.0 automatically gets you 10. 3.2 gets you 12. A 3.5 full.
Yes.
A lot of our kids, what stop them from getting these institutional scholarships is their SAT and their ACT score. And this is people don't even ask for that.
And a lot of those tests are being waived, and they do have some schools that are asking for one that they can take online at home. But even
we're talking about for scholarship wise.
Yes,
it's not even asking for them for scholarship.
Wow! So they have it like made in the sun, made as they call it. So yes, I am
also talking about what is their total cost? $14,200 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get full Pell Grant, you can subtract $6,300 from that. So that'll put you at $7,900, right?
Mm-hmm.
A year. And if you got a $10,000 scholarship, you can subtract $2,500 from that.
That's true.
So
you got paid.
What at $5,100? No, $5,400. Times that by 4. You graduate in 4 years for less than 1 year at most of your state predominantly white institutions.
But like we mentioned earlier in the conversation, it's the name. People see the name, they throw, and just want to be real honest with you. Some parents are getting, when they're trying to recruit, because that's important too, how you recruit a person. They recruit and they send in these limos, they send in these plane tickets. You talking about some people who ain't never been out their 8-block radius. If they getting all that thrown to them, where do you think they're going to go?
Okay, and they should definitely go there if they're paying for everything else.
Sometimes they don't even get that. They don't even get that much. They just get
pay a limo driver $200 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Ride you around for 3 hours, so you can come to my school and pay $50,000 a year. That's it. Hey.
What's your word you used earlier? Hoodwinked and bamboozled.
That's exactly what exactly.
And don't even know it and don't even understand that that's the game that's being played.
Exactly. Because when it comes down to it, like I said before, our RN from Alcorn is going to make the same amount of money as an RN from Penn State University.
Mm-hmm.
A educator from Mississippi Valley at the same school district is going to get paid the same as the educator from the University of Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is you will have less debt.
You have less debt, and you'll also be able to, like you said earlier, challenge. You're not just a student taking notes and getting lectures. You're able to challenge opinions and have a voice.
Exactly.
And as our young people, they don't really know how they have a voice, but they don't know how to express it.
No, but at HBCU, you definitely want to learn how to express your voice. They definitely want to hear from you. And once you leave there, you will never fall, as my buddy was talking about today, the banana in the tailpipe.
No, you won't fall for that.
No.
And that's funny that you mentioned that, because I see a lot of people fall for that, and I'm looking like, you didn't recognize that? That was a game the whole time.
Exactly. And then you have people my age that often say, I really wish I would have went to an HBCU.
I hear that a lot.
To do all over again, I would have went to an HBCU. I have 2 daughters, and they both sentenced to do their undergrad at an HBCU. I don't care if they major in underwater basket weaving. I do it at an HBCU.
Underwater basket weaving, and you going to do?
I don't care what they major in. I told them, like, look, you have over 100 schools to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
And out of those 100 schools, I promise you, there's at least 3 that will meet all 3 of those criteria.
Exactly. And in your program in Pennsylvania, what is the earliest that you start with young people? Because
as of this year, we're exposing them as earlier as junior high. We did HBCU flag drive, like the flag I got behind me. We got all of our alums. Now, one thing about HBCU alums, we are very competitive.
Yes, I hate to lose.
It only took me to post that I had donated that flag to MLK for their HBCU room.
Wow.
For somebody else to say, hold on, where's Howard at? Where's Jackson? All these flags start coming in, where it got too many flags for a room. Now they got close to 40 of these flags, 3x5 in their cafeteria.
Wow. Now I have a question. Now that's actually at the schools in Pennsylvania, correct?
Yes.
Because here they have pennants, and I hate to put them on blast here like that, and that some people get unhappy about it. But I have walked several schools, and I don't see any of our pennants.
I mean, I think we got a responsibility to put them in there.
Exactly.
And like, for instance, I hope that this is not going to stop at just MLK Junior High.
Mm-hmm.
And only thing it takes is one of us, just one of us. Like, if the schools is open, I asked the principal at this Kelly Elementary, and it's an African American Institute elementary school, if I could decorate one of the classrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Just me and my Alabama State alums. We will provide the paper, the pencils, but everything will be ASU. And we will put all the pictures of notable Alabama State alums within that classroom. Of course, it would save that teacher a lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And only thing I have to do is take a picture, and I'm willing to bet you, before that school semester is over, every classroom will be decorated within another HBCU colors.
So is that something that, I'm sorry, I was doing something. I had to come off of the screen for a minute. Is that something that you all put forth as a challenge, or is that something you all did as like a fun
thing? Ms. Robinson, I don't even have to say it's a challenge. It will automatically become a challenge.
Got it.
We're competitive. Now, if you was up here and you see that I posted that I decorated an elementary classroom with all Alabama State, you don't think you and Dr. Barger will be decorating a room in Wilberforce colors?
We be the decorated and had it decked out and had them donate all kind of stuff. So no, I get that. I totally. Or we would purchase it ourselves and make it.
Mm-hmm.
So no,
That they couldn't find. Some of our alum was custom, getting their flags custom made.
wow.
Just so they can have in the cafeteria, so their school would be represented.
Mm. That speak volumes. I'm looking at the well, you corrected me earlier. The Hornets.
Yeah, that's a Hornet. She called it a Hornet, y'all. That's a Hornet.
You would tell my business.
Man, I'm putting you out there. That don't look like nobody's bumblebee.
It was the glasses. It was the glasses.
Okay.
But no, I'm looking out. I mean, it's sometimes you can't help in this virtual world but be nosy in people's space. And I'm like, goodness, he decked out all through there. Got Hornets and
but definitely got my ASU Hornet. But keeping it real, I have all of them too.
Okay, I see JSU on there. I got them too. I have them linked out to a friend right now. Only one I have now, I have Wilberforce, but it's on the wall. But right now I have this one because they are going to be on in a couple weeks. The admissions counselor, Florida Memorial.
That's the Miami Gardens. Remember I said the school must meet their educational and career goals, social and cultural needs, and their family financial needs. I'm very careful. Me sending a kid from Pittsburgh, PA to Miami, 20 minutes away from South Beach.
That won't work. They won't.
They gotta have a certain amount of discipline to go to Miami. Because if there was any student like I was, I don't think I would ever see the inside of a classroom.
That's hey, that's how I feel about Bethune-Cookman. We went to sing there. And I was like, how did they even make it? It is literally on a beach. How would I make it to class every day? I wouldn't.
Man, I would be up all night now. I probably wouldn't be there during the day. Because, the darker skinned brother, we don't like that sun too much. We get hot too fast. But I definitely would have been there when that sun went down.
Jesus. I mean, I'm like that. And the campus is nice too. So I know, I know my limits. That one, I definitely would not have finished school.
And like I said, environment is just as important as the school itself.
Yes.
We don't want to never put somebody. We want to put somebody in a position for success, never in a position of failure.
Right.
We're not going to put somebody, like I said, have a hard time concentrating in the midst of a beach.
That would definitely be some. What did he say?
I survived the beach. It's overrated.
Oh Lord, Anthony, you lucky I should call you. I really should call you.
Put them on here too.
Send him the link, but he probably not. He probably won't answer it.
And we all partners with UNCF as well.
Oh, okay, yeah, I forgot. Y'all two together. That might not be. I don't know, but no, he's good people. But if he answer, I will send him a link.
And he did a excellent HBCU myth presentation to the students in our area here. And I sold that presentation but I did put a slide on that presentation to let folks know, stolen from Anthony H. Brown.
No, you told him that.
Of course I did.
Oh, he said he up. Okay, I am what I need you to do, Mr. Elliott, because I am going to go off, but I don't want you to think I'm not listening. I'm trying to send him the link. Okay.
All right.
So now you are still talking though, so you can talk about the program and what you do while I try to get Mr. Anthony on here.
All right, now we don't help just people in Western Pennsylvania. We had help kids from the DMV. We had help kids from Nebraska. Anybody who wanted to go to an HBCU, We do not turn down no one. No one. We have over 50 HBCU partners that we work with. And if you want an education, just give, one of us a call and we will make sure that we will find the right HBCU that will meet your career and educational goals, your social and cultural needs, and your family financial needs. Meaning when you graduate, you won't spend the rest of your life paying back your loans. And we are definitely HBCU strong.
Yes, definitely. I sent Mr. Brown the link. Now, are y'all two gonna behave?
Yeah, we want to behave.
Because I'm
definitely. You don't bring up them Browns, and at the end of the day, we're gonna be just fine. All right.
That's the rule. He can't bring up the Cleveland Browns because we don't want to hear it.
Do not want to hear it.
Oh Lord, not today. And here he is, and oh Lord, here comes trouble.
Hey everybody, what's happening?
What's up, Mr. Brown?
Oh, wait a minute. Oh,
you don't bring up them Browns.
Oh Lord,
we're gonna be just fine.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm just,
Yeah, I'm just saying. I know you over there.
You don't want to hear
it. We gotta set up ground house rules.
Here he is, and oh Lord, here comes trouble.
What's happening? Listen. Oh wait a minute. Wait, hold on. I forgot. I got a tab open. Let me close the tab. All right.
He played the tab to see if we was talking about him before he came on live. That's what that was.
Listen, I took my Sunday afternoon nap and I woke up just in time to catch another episode of A Better Chance for You Futures and all this great stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, she's interviewing Vince. I got to come here and say hello. Listen, you two are doing an absolutely amazing job sharing your story. Again, both from Alabama State and the Pennsylvania alums, and then Monique, what she's doing down there in Texas, and representing Wilberforce and all that she does. I'm surprised she didn't offer you any donuts, Vince.
I would have ate them.
We got the Krispy
Kreme. But I will say this: in the beginning, I was sending everybody to Alabama State, and that's when I found out that maybe we need to concentrate more on sending them to the school that is perfect for them. Mm-hmm. And I, realize that just because Alabama State was perfect for me, don't mean it's for everybody.
Also, Vince, if I could just jump in here real quick, why don't you also share with Monique's viewing audience some of the other work that the Pennsylvania Alumni Council does? I mean, not only do you just do these, now you had to pivot like everyone else had to do, and to pivot to do a virtual college series, but traditionally you all had started doing a send-off and doing some other activities.
Oh yeah, we have our first we have our HBCU cookout and HBCU student send-off. This is where we have a barbecue where we didn't do it last year due to COVID last summer, but for 2 years we did it, and it was always nice for HBCU alums get to meet each other, network, get to know the students that is going off to their schools, and that connection usually stay there. Like, for instance, here, Monique, and there was a child born in Wilberforce, you will stay connected with that child back and forth and with their parents as well. And we, send them off. And yes, in the past 2 years, my organization had been upset with me because I had always we bought probably close to 400 pounds of chicken, and we only cook 200 pounds. So I end up wasting because it's all you can eat. So I don't want nobody to come to our cookout and say, right. Yeah, I mean, the last summer, I think I burnt 40 pounds of it. Because
40 pounds of chicken?
Yeah, man, I burnt that chicken up. Man, they were so mad, they kicked me off the grill.
Listen. So you do the cookout, and you do the alumni cookout and the student send-off, which is a very that's a big undertaking for any alumni group. I think there's I see a lot of more organizations that are doing that across the country where they're collaborating and working together. So we're not doing a cookout for 5 or 6 students and you're doing it for 1 and you may be doing it for 15. Why don't we just work together? Because sometimes you also get to build that camaraderie.
Right.
You get to find out, oh, I'm all going to the Atlanta, or I'm going to Xenia together, or we're going to be in a central region of North Carolina, and we're not going to be maybe an hour or 2 apart. That may be an opportunity for families to carpool or to decide to.
That's exactly what happens, Mr. Brown. Exactly what happens. And not only that, we took 60 kids to the Circle City Classic. Now, we don't have the funds to take them on a tour, but we did raise the funds to take them to the Classic. Now, we already have 2 organizations here that already do a tour. Actually, there's 3. So we're not going to reinvent the wheel. Let them show them the tour, and we do the Classic. The tour was the HBCU, right? The College of the University. Whereas when we do the Classic, we will introduce them to the HBCU culture.
Exactly. Nothing like it.
Right, because I think I took some students one time to the Circle City Classic, and look, I was only going for really at the time I was going for the fish dinners and the barbecue sandwiches, just so you could be able to see all the vending and the parade and the halftime. That's the only thing I was concerned about.
Me taking a group of students in a population where there's only, Western Pennsylvania, we only represent 13% of the Black population. The Black population is only 13%.
Wow.
And for me to take them to a population where they see, a bunch of Black professionals at the parade, and that's what a lot of them told me. Like, Mr. Vince, I didn't realize Pittsburgh was so white.
Wow, that's eye-opening. I know, and I know you're probably like, where is she getting it from? You see me looking down a lot, it's because I have different feeds, and on one of our feeds, I'm gonna have to backtrack a little bit. I have to backtrack a little bit, but I have a person, Gregory Threat. He said, "Don't forget about these kids. They can't make it to the pros without Ohio State, Alabama, and so on." So I know you touched on that.
Where?
When we were talking about football, I don't know why it's not.
We can't make it to the pros without Alabama, Ohio. That's not true. Not true at all. Because a lot of gold jacket Hall of Famers came from HBCU.
Mm-hmm.
Because look, your stats follow you no matter where you're at. All right. Mm-hmm. Now you might not get the opportunity at the University of Alabama that you will get at Jackson or at Grambling. Mm-hmm. Everybody needs their time to shine.
Exactly. I totally agree with that. And then we also have Michelle Payton, who said about your idea of the classroom, where you were saying how you got the classrooms to collaborate. What she did is she wished she was in a classroom so she could have people decorate with all the HBCU in it as well. She's not in the classroom anymore. And then you also have, I just wanted to catch you up because some of the comments aren't feeding over to StreamYard. So I just was backtracking to make sure that everybody's questions and comments and concerns were heard.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
And another thing, as an HBCU alum or HBCU graduate, you come out no matter what field that you're in. You always want to come back to serve your community. It's almost like, it's not an obligation. It's almost like an inherited need. Because you got this opportunity. It's almost like you have a need to make sure others have that opportunity as well.
It's like you're reaching back instead of one of the challenges that, no matter where I have faced is that you're reaching back instead of being pulled down.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Somewhere where you could experience it being a majority.
Mm-hmm. So I think
4 years of a safe space.
So Vince, what are some projections for 2021? What are some things that you are hoping to accomplish if you were to create a vision board for your organization in Pennsylvania, in Pittsburgh specifically? What are some of the visions or things that you're shooting for this?
200 enrolled 200 kids from Western Pennsylvania into our HBCUs. Out of those 200 students, we want at least 70 of them be on some type of institutional academic scholarship. And then we want another 30 on some type of artistic scholarship, and then another 40 on athletic scholarships. Now that's one thing we've definitely been pushing lately. The scholarships just don't come academic and athletics. If the schools was open, we had arranged where we was going to hold Zoom auditions via choir or fine art for some of these kids to obtain scholarships that way.
Awesome. That is awesome. I think, I mean, in this space and place, I think that is probably the next evolution of how we utilize this type of technology and allowing students to be able to get this. So I think that's a very ambitious goal. So we wish you probably going to, that's just the first half of the year, because typically, you know, most people will probably have made their decisions, hopefully, by May 1st. So as we get ready to celebrate HBCU Bound Day 2, as we do the successful, you know, HBCU Bound celebration this past, you know, 2020, May 1st, typically that typical decision day for students. So hopefully you'll make your 200 goal, but then after that, anything else you all thinking about, hopefully, or maybe after the country opens back up?
When the country opens, well, we know that we will have a college fair at PNC Park in October, because we didn't ask to go there. They actually asked us to come.
That's good.
Our last college fair hosted 1,500 students. We're definitely going to go back to our HBCU cookout and student send off. And hopefully next year we were supposed to do the Detroit Classic this year, but the COVID kids out to a classic.
That's all. We have one here in Ohio. You can come on over. We got one. Well, there's supposed to be one. Let me rephrase that. I mean, it's scheduled. I think it's Grambling and Tennessee State. I think.
Oh, you know about the Hall of Fame Classic?
Yes, the Football Hall of Fame Classic. Yes.
I think that either one of those would be worth going to. I hope the country opens up.
We had two buses. One going to the Detroit Classic with the kids, and the adults was going to go to the Hall of Fame Classic in Canton. Now that's the first thing they asked. Which one is the kids going to? I said, we take the Hall of Fame Classic.
So they were going to leave you with the kids.
Yes. Yeah. You know that bus is going to be lit.
Wow.
Both of them will. I agree. I don't think I can hang like I used to, but yeah.
Look, I don't want to. I'm not trying to monopolize Monique's time and her show. Look, she's doing an amazing job. But you know, before I just in case somebody, depending on those who are watching us live on whatever pages that she shared it on, or if you're watching it on YouTube right now, or for those who all the replayers, yes, all the replayers who just kind of joined in, you're watching later on in the week. Vince, how can someone get in contact with you? Just in case there's somebody watching right now from the Pittsburgh
the website. Let me make sure I put it up right. I want to make sure I got to put it because it's relatively long. Okay, it's WPCHBCUA.org. Western Pennsylvania Council of HBCU Alumni.org.
Awesome. So that way people can go to your page
and all the stuff that we have done and will continue to do.
Oh, okay.
They can find out about upcoming events. They can talk about scholarships and programs, some of your activities, how they can get involved with the whole program in the organization.
Exactly, and it don't matter where you live. If you have a desire to go to an HBCU, and we can help you get you there, we're going to do it.
All right, awesome. And we did put the link in the chat for those who are on at least if you're watching it from the Better Chance of Future page. We did put the link in the chat.
Keep cracking up. Why is Monique cracking up in her window over there?
Because Anthony, he's always apologizing for trying to take over, but I'm like, dude, this what you do, like you part of the show.
I am not. I am just, I'm just a raffle winner. That's all I am. I'm just a raffle winner.
You should see him do that Millie Rock during his presentation. I got to learn how to do that. Oh, yeah, I want to do that. Learn that Millie Rock.
Also, he danced when he come in person. He didn't tell nobody that part.
Oh, man.
Well, that's a different presentation. That's a different show. It's unlike the HBCU alumni house party. So presentation over when you actually invite me to come do a workshop. That's a different, because I'm engaging with young people. So you gotta meet them where they are.
I didn't know you did all that. You just come on here and do all that. So you dance.
Oh, yeah, I put on real clothes. I don't just wear the onesie.
Oh my God, he is Anthony is my dude. That's why I gave him a whole stock of Krispy Kreme. He ain't eat it though.
No. I keep giving him away. I keep giving the donuts away to different people. So yes, thank you for the donut.
263 pounds. I ate it.
Okay, we got
you. How much?
263.
Oh no! Oh man, no! Oh gosh, no! That bless you. I couldn't. I can't. No, knock yourself out.
I lost 10 pounds and I'm trying to find it.
Listen, I think I had some peach cobbler yesterday and I ate one bite of it. They're like, what you gonna do with the rest? I was like, it's gonna sit there.
Oh, and you know what Alabama State is also known for?
What's that?
HBCU have
the best cat.
Same
honeybees.
Oh, I do love them. I watch them. I follow them.
And that's where she thought that was a honeybee instead of a hornet back behind.
Oh, man.
Because y'all got them honeybees. And listen,
no joke.
If no one has ever seen Alabama State marching band, where it's one thing to see the what's the other girls called? They called the Stingettes. Yeah, Stingettes. They cute, but let them when them honeybees hit the field, baby, that's the show right there. That's the show. When they
used to have the Bama, what was it? The Bama State one that y'all had on TV. When I first seen them girls come out there and dance, when I tell you, I was like, there's no excuse why I can't do half the stuff that I'm trying to do. They bring it, literally.
Yes, Lord. You're not a lady unless you're 180. What they say, you got plenty of fun at 200. But those honeybees, they bring that thunder.
No joke. And I actually reached out to them. I hope I could get them on one day. Because I have, just being real transparent, I deal with a lot of teenagers who feel like they can't because of their appearance. And I done showed them tapes of the honeybees. I done showed them, I'm like, look, these girls get it. And some of their costumes are a little racy. Like, I wouldn't wear some of that. But they play no games at all.
Zero.
I'm like, ooh. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't think about that. After he clowned me about the bumblebee, I will never make that mistake again.
But that was to recover because you could have talked about the honeybee.
A honeybee is not a bumblebee. Let's get that real clear too.
They sting. They all hurt.
I'm allergic to them, so.
Nobody do not have a BBW dance team.
You said who else has one? I think it's just y'all. I might be wrong.
That came from Pittsburgh that wanted to join the honeybees, and she called me talking about Mr. Vince. They say I don't weigh enough.
Oh my.
I said, look, you in Alabama, if you don't put some gravy on them biscuits every day and put some butter in them grits, that's a problem. That's a problem easily solved. And I know they got gravy and biscuits down there.
Oh God! You told me to do what?
I can't with y'all. I cannot.
Oh my no! He says you get your weight up. On there.
I cannot with you all.
That's y'all two together. It's y'all two. It ain't. I'm just laughing.
You know, I even had gravy, biscuits and gravy until I went down south. I promise you, I never had biscuits and gravy.
Y'all ain't had it. We had that in Ohio. I didn't really care for it much, but they had it.
Now, when I experienced that, a guy was sitting. He was from Mississippi. I said, "Why are you crumbling up his biscuit like that? Did you put the gravy on it?" And then turn around and ate it with a fork. I said, "Hold on, let me get this one. You crumble it, pour the gravy on it, then you want to use the fork to go ahead and eat it. Why don't you just go ahead and start it?"
Oh God.
Well, listen, you guys are something else today.
That is Mr. Elliott all by himself.
Yeah, but I definitely had some fun. Ms. Robinson, I know we've over our time, but listen,
Yes.
I would love to come back, but if the Lord's willing and the creek don't rise, we definitely gonna have to do this again.
Definitely. And I know we impromptu Anthony, but it's always a pleasure to have you because he cracks me up. He always keeps me on task, and he also mentors me because this space is really new to me, but he provides everything. But
you're gonna have to have a better representation to come on your show from the Western Pennsylvania Council of HBCU Alumni. Because the people in our organization see themselves, they're gonna be like, "Oh well, who in the world let him go on live?" I heard that's what they're thinking right now. They probably gonna be like, "Somebody's gonna have to do another show with her." And you know, Dr. Baldwin, Dr. Robinson, Ms. Hackman, somebody, they're gonna be like,
no, you done well. You done well.
You have done a phenomenal job as always, Vince. You know, listen. You are the brainchild behind that in Pittsburgh. So we appreciate any time that you can come through and be a part of the conversation and all the information that you share via social media, engaging with your parents and students and your alums in your community and throughout the country and throughout the world, because it's needed. It's appreciated. I enjoy every time you send out your emails about your recruiters coming, because every so often I'll pop in just to kind of just see what's happening, just to kind of learn something about another HBCU. I think the various platforms, yourself, what Monique is doing, and so many others, it's just another opportunity to be able to learn more about our schools that, you heard about these schools sometimes, or you may even heard about some of them. Like, oh, that's an HBCU. Let me learn more about it. So thank you for allowing me to take another look and take a deeper dive. If you all do, because I think it's absolutely amazing. It is.
Yeah, so far I think we did 40 schools and we got 60 more to go.
All right then. Let me know how I can support, or if you have people in your organization that's willing to come share their story or give some good advice. Because like today, you were dropping numbers, and I'm like, wow. And you did the pros and cons. I think it was very informative. If we can continue to go on that path, I think we'll conquer our goals. I don't know who's feeding. We can conquer the goal. So I think that, as Bill said, do you have any
we got a bad connection.
I don't, and that's
we kind of losing you just a little bit.
Okay, is it better now?
Yeah, I think it's better now.
Okay. What I was saying is I want to thank you for coming on and sharing, one, and then two, if there is anyone in your Pittsburgh area that would like to come on and share their story, they are welcome, to come.
Oh, absolutely. I would definitely put it out there for someone like, look here, Governor was to clean up our reputation now. That's why I'm glad I came first, because it's going to entice somebody else to come more. Like, look here, we got to clean up our reputation. He's going to go on this clean up so we can clean up our reputation.
Yes, so
awesome.
Yes, And do you have any final words that you would like to tell scholars about their decision? Because a lot of decision making is going to start happening for our high school students, where they're going to school and things like that.
I mean, the only thing I have to say is if you are a student of color and you looking for a post-secondary institution, consider an HBCU first. Now, your counselor is going to tell you if it's a school that you should consider secondary, or you could get just because you get into the come on back home.
Mr. Brown, do you have any parting words? Or you said enough.
Listen, so I'm just going to just remind everybody again about this organization that Monique leads. It's called A Better Chance for Youth Futures Incorporated. Again, she and her team is focused on making the maximum positive effort for our community. And we talked about also this virtual community. So their members and volunteers provide the momentum that helps us affect change. So that's what they're all about, using data-driven models, providing resources that make long-lasting differences. Again, they're just trying to make an impact to help students get to and through to, hopefully to an HBCU. But, certainly they're going to help you get to wherever you want to get to. I thank you allowing me to come on and just say hello and all that great stuff. I took a quick little sabbatical from the HBCU alumni house party. Thank you to everybody. If you were an alum and you helped us raise over $138,000 within the time of June 1st to December 31st. It was an aggressive push, and some of you all helped me do that. So thank you for all that. So we're going to take a quick break, a pause for the calls. I'm going to hit the reset button. I'm going to get back with my team so we can kind of figure out how we're going to handle and tackle, raising money for all of our HBCUs for 2021. So again, I'm not just saying Happy New Year. I'm saying that I wish you all a better New Year.
Awesome sauce, Mr. Brown, and everyone. I would like to thank you for tuning in today. I really appreciate the support. I know live, a lot of people don't watch, but when you catch us on the replay, just know that it's a very impactful show with a lot of information. Mr. Elliott dropped numbers. Anthony gave Mr. Brown gave the facts of what we do. So thank you and Happy New Year to everybody. And we will see you next Sunday.
Happy New Year.